Republican Congressman Doug Collins today released a transcript of disgraced FBI agent Peter Strzok's testimony before the Congress. The transcript sheds some light on his handling of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server, as well as his now famous text message to his girlfriend Lisa Page, assuring her that the FBI had a, quote, insurance policy against candidate Donald Trump. Fox Washington correspondent Kristin Fisher has been on this story and has more for us tonight. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah, hey, Tucker. Well, there are several revelations in the transcript released today from Peter Strzok's closed-door testimony, and perhaps the biggest is that despite all of those anti-Trump text messages, Strzok told the committee that special counsel Robert Mueller never once pressed him on political bias. The transcript also reveals that the Justice Department essentially cut a deal with Hillary Clinton's attorneys that laid the ground rules for FBI access to her personal email servers. And Strzok said part of that deal was that the FBI was not given access to any emails about the Clinton Foundation. Republican Congressman Doug Collins, who released the transcript, explains why he did it.
I believe the American people deserve transparency and deserve to know what transpired at the highest echelons of the FBI during this tumultuous time for the Bureau.
Strzok's attorney put out a statement saying Pete welcomes the release of the transcript and that it is further evidence that Pete at all times discharged his duties honorably, patriotically, and without regard to his personal political opinions. But remember, the Justice Department's own Inspector General concluded that he did not have confidence that Strzok's decision to prioritize the Trump investigation over the Clinton investigation was free from bias. Tucker.
Kristin Fisher, for us in Washington. Thank you very much. Francey Hakes is a former DOJ official and a trusted voice, we think, on this matter, and she joins us tonight. Francey, thanks very much for coming on. What's your reaction to this transcript?
Well, Tucker, unfortunately, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think that anyone who thought that the FBI was making decisions alone without prosecutors from the Department of Justice doesn't understand how the Department of Justice works. FBI agents cannot file an arrest warrant. They can't get a complaint. They can't get a FISA warrant for sure. They can't get a search warrant or a grand jury subpoena without a federal prosecutor. And they certainly can't go to grand jury and get an indictment. So they needed federal prosecutors to agree to prosecute.
Huh. So tell me what we know about the insurance policy. I mean, that seems like the most ominous phrase to come out of all of the declassified and unearthed documents in the last 2 years, and no one's ever really explained sufficiently what they were talking about.
No, they really haven't, Tucker. It's actually sad when you see a career man like Peter Strzok coming out and saying through his attorney that he was a patriot and free from bias, when it appears very clear that he had a preference in the presidential election, and his text messages with Lisa Page show that he was acting on that bias. I just don't know how you can argue otherwise. Partisans certainly do, but people with a brain certainly can't. And it looks clear to me that they were putting their thumb on the election, and the insurance policy was this bogus counterintelligence operation that started with nothing and was lies to the FISA court. And we're here 2 years later still talking about collusion.
So a functioning government would see this as a threat to people's faith in government itself and to the power that the DOJ wields over our lives, and would go in there and make absolutely certain that none of this crap remained and that people were fired over it, and would show the public, look, this is a clean agency. That hasn't happened. Why?
I don't know, Tucker. It really, really baffles me that the president has not fully declassified absolutely everything and made everyone give statements about exactly what their motivations are. There are lots of people we've never heard from. I have no idea who the prosecutors were in the Clinton email matter, or for that matter, that worked early on the Trump investigation and counterintelligence and who sought the FISA warrant. We don't know their names. We don't know their motivations. We don't know why they did it. We don't know why they lied to the FISA court. I don't understand why this hasn't been declassified. I hope that soon we have all the answers so everyone can evaluate it.
Of course, because, I mean, Trump is at the center of the story, but the story isn't really about Trump. It's about whether you can trust that your government isn't lying to you and trying to hurt you for political reasons. And all of us have a right to believe that, and we don't. Francey Hakes, I hope you'll stick with us as this story continues, because it's always great to hear from you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.